Blue Origin's Galactic Gal Pal Joy Ride, Katy Perry sings, Jeff Bezos winks. In the glittering cosmos of 2025, where billionaires treat space like their personal Instagram backdrop, Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos's pet rocket project, decided it was time for a publicity stunt so dazzling it could outshine a supernova. Enter the all-female spaceflight, a suborbital jaunt billed as empowerment at 100 kilometers but smelling suspiciously like a PR stunt wrapped in pink spacesuits. On April 14, 2025, 6 women, handpicked for maximum headline-grabbing potential, strapped into New Shepard for a trip that was less about breaking barriers and more about breaking the internet. The cast was a masterclass in curated clout. Leading the pack was pop diva Katy Perry, whose mission was to livestream a zero-gravity rendition of Firework, because nothing says feminism like autotune in space. Next, Gayle King, media royalty, ready to interview the void itself for Oprah's book club. Rounding out the crew, a tech mogul who'd coded an app for space selfies, a stunt pilot with a TikTok following, a philanthropist who'd funded Jeff's last rocket, and a 20-something influencer who'd won her seat in a raffle suspiciously tied to Amazon Prime. Diversity. Blue Origin's press release crowed, conveniently ignoring that diverse meant famous, rich, or both. The narrative was polished to a sheen. This wasn't just a flight, it was a statement. Jeff, ever the showman, donned his cowboy hat at the launch site, waxing poetic about lifting women to new heights. Never mind that New Shepard barely grazed space, hitting the Kármán line like a tourist snapping a pic at a landmark before rushing back to the gift shop. The rocket, stubby and phallic as ever, roared upward for its 11-minute joyride, just long enough for Katy to hit a high note and Gayle to muse, "Is this what men walk on the moon felt like?" Inside the capsule, it was less sisterhood of the traveling spacesuits and more Real Housewives of Zero G. The influencer live-streamed her skincare routine, pores? Not in space, while the tech mogul pitched a blockchain for asteroid mining. The philanthropist floated upside down, muttering about tax deductions, and the stunt pilot tried to backflip but bonked the ceiling. Katy, true to form, hogged the window, belting lyrics about cosmic dreams while the others politely clapped. Gayle, ever the pro, narrated it all like a PBS special, though her mic caught her whispering, "This better get me an Emmy." Back on Earth, Blue Origin's spin machine went into overdrive. A historic leap for womankind. The headline screamed, as if Sally Ride hadn't cracked that ceiling decades ago. The flight was less about science and more about selling empowerment as a luxury good, only $300,000 a seat. Critics on X weren't buying it, pointing out the crew's lack of astronauts or, say, actual space expertise. "Where's the engineer who built the rocket?" One post snarked. Blue Origin's reply. A glossy video of Jeff high-fiving the crew, captioned, "The future is female. And reusable." The satire peaked post-flight, when the women disembarked to a press conference rivaling a Met Gala red carpet. Katy announced a new single, Star-Kissed, dropping exclusively on Amazon Music. Gayle teased a memoir, Gravity and Grit. The influencer's follower count spiked, and the philanthropist pledged $10 million to a vague space equity fund, suspiciously linked to Jeff's foundation. Blue Origin patted itself on the back, claiming it had changed the narrative, while conveniently dodging questions about why its boardroom still looked like a golf club circa 1985. In the end, the all-female spaceflight was peak Blue Origin, a spectacle that mistook altitude for progress. It wasn't about advancing humanity's reach, it was about advancing Jeff's brand, one viral moment at a time. As the rocket settled back on its pad, reusable and reliable, you could almost hear Jeff chuckle, "Who needs Mars when you've got merch?" And somewhere in the cosmos, the stars rolled their eyes, unimpressed by yet another billionaire's cosmic flex.